John, you just planned for us for the Bible placement. So we are on the moment sitting here in Chavuma on the east bank of the Zambezi River, and way over there on the other side is the west bank. And please just tell us, how did you do the planning for the guys who's coming tomorrow to do the Bible placement?
Bayes, thank you so very much for the effort that you folk took in coming through to here. Yeah, planning is very important. And we have quite a lot of villages we'll be covering in a very short while. And unless you plan and plan well, you'll find there's a bit of waffling around and people not knowing what to do. So what we did is we planned the area map-wise, route-wise. And then along the map, we numbered the villages that we would be going to, where the drop-off points are, where the distribution points are. We got our hub leaders to actually record and give us names. And you'll see over here, I will whip this one out over here. This is an example of one of our hub leaders who sent this in to us. And you folk can see that this is a list of names from the various churches that we'll be distributing under that hub leader. And you can see the amount of names, many, many names. Luvali Bibles. Then you'll find, yeah, there's one English Bible. And so the name. So when they deliver now, when they distribute the Bibles, he will call out the person and they will get to that person the Bible. And so you'll see over here in the planning, the map planning, just to show you folk over here. For instance, the West Bank, where the folk will be operating. Over here, you'll see we're going down about 60 kilometers because we can't cross here, the pontoon is out of order. Okay. So we go down about 60 kilometers, cross the river with 2 vehicles, 2 teams, 3 individuals with an interpreter and overseer or HLT in each vehicle. They will then come along the road over here. The first vehicle will do the first distribution over there, drop off over there. That town's name is Lingundu. And you will see over here, for instance, Lingundu has 2 English and 23 Luvali that will go there. And so we've distributed this whole thing.
So how did you determine the 2 English and Luvali? How do you know that is the Bibles that you need to
So the hub leaders then went and did a census. We said to them, listen, this isn't just handing out of Bibles. You need to tell us who can read Luvali, or who is Lunda, or who is Lozi, or what is the language that they can, English. And so they went in, and that's where the name list comes from. They then made a list of what the person's name was in that church, new church plant, or in that existing church of theirs, along with the language that they would want the word in. And then what we've told the folk as well, the hub leaders, is what they have to do is, and you guys, when they distribute, the distributors, is, doesn't matter, just say to the guy, read me a verse. Because you must make sure that the folk that I want to make sure, rather, that the folk that are giving the Bibles are not just giving the Bibles away, but that you are giving it to people that can read. In other words, the folk that do invest in this actually say, we're doing a good job. So that's our responsibility to the folk that are investing in it.
John, normally we think in a way of cities. We are used to technology. Just inform us, tell us, what will the Bible distribution team find on the West Bank, on that side of the Zambezi River? What is the circumstances there?
Very dire. Bayes, from the technology side of things, look, audio Bibles is great because they're solar powered and they can use in the sun, but they're hearing the Word of God, and that's brilliant. But you also need the teaching of the Word of God. And so, and when you teach the Word of God, the folk need to have the Word in front of them, being able to read and not just listen. So that is why the Bible distribution is so important, so that they can see the Word, they can make notes on the Word. And even the folk that can't read are part of this gathering where they sit with the Word. They will then have, it's personal, it's not impersonal. And that is the advantage of having the written Word in Bibles out on the plains.
Wow, thank you so much. We're really looking forward to hear the stories of the impact that these Bibles that is distributed or will be distributed is going to have on the Luvali people. So we are really excited to see what is going to come from this.
We thank you folk, and we want to say we trust that the folk that are distributing will really be blessed by what they see and experience out here in the field. Thank you guys.